Alright, here are your instructions for Work Together 4-2. Again, we are going to be working on posting, which remember, it's like a UPS truck. So your goal is to take all of these different boxes and deliver them to the right houses down here in the general ledger. So let's get started. Okay, step number 1. We're going to go down the general credit and general debit column, and we're going to deliver them to each of these account titles. So first one here is a 5,000 debit to capital. All right, and your first step is to type the date of when this transaction occurred. So we put March 1st. Okay, your second step is where did we get this? Well, we got it from journal page 1, so we just type the journal page 1. Step number 2 now, what we're going to do is we have two debit and credit columns. We're going to just look at these. These two go together, these two go together. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to record, or we're going to deliver what happened to capital on the 1st. Well, we credited it for 5,000. So we're just going to record that I credited capital on the 1st for 5,000. Okay, that's step number 4. We're delivering the package. Step number 2 now is deciding, well, how much capital do I have now? This is where we talk about, if I asked you what's the balance, this is where you would look. If there's no balance here, we assume this balance is 0. Okay, and then we have to think of, well, what side is the normal balance of capital? The normal balance is a credit, so that's the side I increase. So if I put a 0 here and I credit capital, then I would increase capital by, and my new balance would be 5,000. Okay, so step number 4 is to find your balance. And then the last step, step number 5, is to write off that this package or this has been recorded in capital. And you do that by writing the account number. Remember in 4-1 where we had to create all of those account numbers? Okay, this is why. We have to record here, instead of writing capital again, we're going to write the account number to show that that has been recorded. That way, if I had to leave and go do something else, I could always come back to do this. All right, let's do a few more examples. Let's go. Our next one, 660, goes to prepaid insurance. I'm going to find prepaid insurance. Step number 1, do the date. We have the 3rd. Step number 2, put the page number. Okay, step number 3, deliver the package. We debited prepaid insurance for 660. So I need to debit prepaid insurance here. Step number 4, what's my new balance? My balance was a 0. I debited it for 660, which means I increased my balance to 660. Last step, sign it off. All right, 5 steps, remember. Let's go to the next. 78 needs to go to supplies. First step, put the date. We have March 4th. Second step, the page number 1. Third step is deliver it. Okay, I debited supplies for 78, so I debit supplies for 78 down here. My balance is a 0. I debit the supplies, which means I'm increasing it. So my new balance is 78. Last step, sign off. 130. All right, let's keep going down. Next one, even though this doesn't have a date, it's still the 4th. I go to accounts payable. We have March 4th, journal page 1. What did I do to accounts payable here? Well, I credited it for 78. So I need to deliver the package and credit 78 down here. Now accounts payable, its normal balance is a credit. So it's 0. I credit it, so it increases my account to 78. Last step, I write it off. All right, getting the hang of this. We'll do one more here, and then I think my time's going to run off. I only have 5 minutes. Last one here, accounts receivable. We have the date, March 9, journal page 1. I debit the account for 163. That means the balance goes to 163.